These nuts.
These nuts. Got him!
And I did, in fact, get him. These nuts losing, dropping to 9th place, and it wasn't even a close one. My team did what they do. The surprising one is Kyle Pitts actually showing up. Hopefully he continues to show up, even with bum Marcus Mariota over there on his team. Yeah, all in all, it was to be expected. There wasn't really anything Dave could have done except for draft better. And let's continue with our Week 8 recap, guys. The next matchup was Jason versus All We Do Is Win. There was a lot of scoring this week, like points galore, and Jason was a beneficiary of that. Robert, not so much. He did get 38 points from Kamara, but other than that, it just couldn't keep up with A.J. Brown's 3 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill getting 30 points, Prescott dismantling Chicago, Dalvin Cook starting to heat up this time of the year. That's a good thing for Jay. Tony Pollard on his bench. Could have been an even bigger week. But yeah. In a matchup where you really needed a win, Rob, it just didn't come through. But nothing to hang your head low about. Not a lot of people could have beat 170 points. That's a lot. Huge win for Jason. Poggers versus Dan. This was a very rivalry kind of battle. It was a team of like who sucks worse, because Zach didn't want to lose. He thought if he got lost, he was going to hear about it all week, which he has heard about it all week. Dan taking him down, putting up a good score of 120, but it was beatable. But Zach couldn't beat it. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs not doing what they normally do. And it cost them. I was actually watching their matchup. It was looking like maybe a come from behind victory. And I seen Zach had 4 players, and it was Buffalo. It was kind of funny. 4 players from Buffalo, but yeah, it just didn't match up. Dan started the right players. He started Chris McCaffrey, who had a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. That's fucking crazy. McCaffrey's over there doing it all. And another good win for Dan. Win streak of 6 now, I think he has, and a bad loss for Poggers. When he said the league was too easy, it's biting him right in the ass. Now, somebody that could have beat Jason, Detroiter, 200 points. His team went absolutely nuclear. If you look right here, it's like a fucking DraftKings lineup. Everybody just blew up. Everybody, and even his bench had very playable, no problems there from his bench either. His bench would have, it outscored anyone else's bench, that's for sure, and starting players as well. But yeah, just the perfect week for Joe, and not so perfect for Sean. It's a real bummer. Been there years ago, years of this year, where you put up good points and you're just not catching the wins. But like I said, this was a high-scoring week for the whole NFL. So, kind of to be expected that 126, maybe on some weeks, is good. It just wasn't good this week. But it was a good try by Sean, but you can't beat 200 points. That's ridiculous. And then Motor City Mad Dogs, number 1 in the league. There's somebody that also only scored 120, but that's win number 5 in a row for Edgar. 28 points from Hertz, Mark Andrews not doing too much, but his team's just playing very solid. We actually didn't really expect too much from replacements, and definitely didn't expect Devontae Adams to get .70. Las Vegas looked like shit. But yeah, just want to keep it quick this week. We'll look at the standings right now, and we got Motor City win streak of 5, Dan's win streak of 6, Jason chugging along with 3, most points in the whole league for Jason right now. The closest players still a bit off, and lowest points in the league right now for Dave Martin. D's nuts. Just got an extra win over Sean, but this team's just not doing anything this year. But yeah, let's get to the power rankings. Power rankings go 76%. Keeping it at 76% for Jason. It was really going to depend on him and Edgar's match this week. This is team number 1 and team number 2 versing off right now. And yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that matchup. Big playoff implications there. And I said drafted from the future because Jason actually drafted a lot of players that have been in the past injury prone, known to be injury prone. And none of them have been hurt. So it's like he took a time machine, said, oh, these players used to be injury prone, but this year they're going to play. And yeah, so nice time capsule, Jay. Joey, he moves up 8 points because anytime you score 200 points, that shows that you can do something, win any matchup if your players are that dynamic. But you know, it's not very repeatable, you know, but it is scary to see that. Zach, he's actually dropped down quite a bit, down to 24%, because Josh Allen plus Stephon Diggs is 60, but adding DeAndre Swift to that actually reverses the equation because it's still 60. So this week it wasn't a good showing for Buffalo, and the Dream Team actually lose points with DeAndre Swift on their team. Edgar, you went up 7 points. You're still first place. Nothing I can really say about it, but if you want to take Jason's power ranking away from him, you're going to have to beat him this week. Dan, you beat Zach. Laughy face. Crying face. I've been laughing about it all week. Zach's been crying about it all week. You went up 10% just because 6 wins in a row is hard enough to come by, and you're doing it by just letting everyone else's teams just kind of have a bad week. You're not like blowing anyone out of the water. You're just putting bad voodoo on everyone, bad juju. And yeah, it's kind of scary to play you because it's like, oh great, I'm gonna have a bad week. And you're gonna have an average week and win. Anyways, good job beating Zach. Replacements, your points are low. I think you're like 7th in the rankings right now in the league. But the only thing that sucks with the low points, it's actually the same for Robert down there, is when you do tie in record, you know, points is the tiebreaker. So it's going to be hard just to get to the playoffs when you get the low points. Makes it a little harder. Sean, you were at 1% last week. You dropped a decimal. I wasn't sure if the computer would even do that because I thought 1% was the lowest, but it did actually drop you a whole decimal to .99. Your record's 1-7. You don't have a good shot of getting into the playoffs, if any at all. And D's nuts, you lost to me, and you dropped it to 1%, where Sean was at last week. You guys are kind of anchoring down the league. And yeah, so it was pukey face, vomit face last time, but plus another pukey face, vomit fake, it equals your team. And that's a pretty good equation to explain what you got going on over there. I've actually moved up to 63%. After winning 2 games in a row, I'm officially double fire. And yeah, I expect that to happen again this week. Robert, same thing that's going on with replacements. Your team is better than replacements. It's heating up right now, but you can't afford losses right now with the amount of points that you have. You're just gonna end up getting, having a hard time. You're gonna have to have a win over the team in 6th or the team in 5th instead of just beating them out by points. So let's take a look at next week's matchups. Give you guys a quick prediction as to what's going to happen. Obviously, Zach has fell for a couple weeks. I laid a trap for him. I gave him DeAndre Swift and Alan Lazard. He probably thought, oh, wow, what a good buddy. But it was so that when he versed me in our match, DeAndre Swift and Alan Lazard will lay turds. And he actually has them starting. He's going with the Buffalo stack with Josh Allen and Diggs. But in order to do the trifecta, he's going to have to put Dawson Knox in there. And since he's not willing to do that, it's going to be an automatic loss for Poggers because his team has no identity. Dan's team, you're going to beat replacements basically because they think that the Jets are going to do anything against Buffalo. I don't know why he's playing the Jets. Picking up players is free. It costs nothing. You can easily go to the waiver wire and find someone else better than that. And Dan will pick up another victory because everyone's underperforming against Dan. These nuts versus Big Chubs. Yeah. Definitely going with Joey. The team's better and the right side, and the team is worse on the left side. So there's enough said right there. If D's Nuts does pull it off, he would still probably be at 1% on the power rankings. His team is just that pukey face vomity. But Motor City Mad Dogs versus Jason. This is the big one right here. And I am going to predict Jason to win. He's been scoring the most points basically every week. Having a good, weekly average. And taking the number 1 spot. But if Edgar does win, he'll stay number 1 and actually be 2 games in the lead. So big playoff implications for these two teams. But 1 and 2 is where you want to be for that bye. Sean versus Robert. It really only matters for Robert. Sean, maybe for your dignity, you can try to win this game. But a couple players on bye. And holy shit, Robert has his entire bench on bye. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. But yeah, so that is what it is. And good job this week, guys. Let's get ready for week 9 with, we got the Eagles tonight. See what's gonna go down. Wow, another victory. I didn't even need my whole team to whoop that ass. I have Boyd tonight. Dan's in your head, Zach. He's in your head.